Okay, updates again. I did not really get much done for my novel yesterday. So, some of the things that I was able to do yesterday for my book was to kind of iron out the outline for chapter 3. I actually ended up combining two chapters into the outline, or like one and a half chapters. I don't know if I'll exactly follow it, but that's what I have right now because I sort of like structuring my chapters in a way that they function a little like a complete thought or maybe a mini episode, you know? I'm I'm deeply inspired by the the nested Kisho Tenketsu arcs in manga. I think I mentioned this before, right? So a chapter is just a unit of a story. So yeah. I am aware that a lot of writers let a story arc happen over the course of multiple chapters. Um, but I'm not sure if I want to do that here. I just like having, like I said, uh, one chapter, one unit of story, kind of treat it a little like an episode or maybe a scene. With how I restructured my outline for Act 1, the the way that events happen actually have been sort of rearranged. So initially, I had my main character arriving in Isengel, as I mentioned before, the main location of my novel. And then the first thing she does is settle in and look for and request access to the archives, right? So she needs information. So the first thing she does is request information from the archives and try asking the local branch of her organization. She's in the military, so the local garrison, for um, a list of suspicious individuals, or just to pick their brains for like leads, because she's arrived with no leads. That was the original flow of events. The way that it was structured before feels a lot more slice of life, but the way that I restructured it makes it feel a lot more purposeful. I kind of have like mini arcs structured, so she always has like a mini goal, and her first goal is still to gain access to the archives. It's to get to the garrison and gain access to the archives. Except I have moved events so that there's this section where she ends up saving these two girls from being harassed, right? And originally that happened after she settles into the garrison and requests information, right? So originally that happened after, but with how I've rearranged events, now I'm pulling it before she gets to the garrison. Yeah. So basically it's like I'm structuring my story in a way that I have like a mini goal, an arc goal, and I place obstacles in my character's path to get to there. Fortunately, I don't really have to create entirely new scenes in order to do that. I just have to rearrange my existing outline, at least for this first arc. The following arc, I will probably have to make up scenes. I have rearranged some of them, but with the arc goal, it I I'm definitely gonna have to like create new scenes. So for the outline, yeah. So yeah. Actually, over the last couple of days, while I was doing the location and scene mapping exercise, and then now, I mean yesterday, the last 2 days, I I've been restructuring my outline a little, and I changed the ending. I really can't help feeling like my novel feels like it's structured a little bit like a video game. I'm not really much of a gamer, but I do enjoy hearing people talk about the stories in games and the characters in games. So I have some exposure, I guess, to it. I used to play a lot more games, but mostly on the DS. After people stopped using the DS or making games for the DS, I stopped playing games. So my story actually just makes me feel a lot like a game. It feels quite a bit like a game. But yeah, that's what I have. Okay. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. I will update you guys on whether I was actually able to write today or not. Yeah. But I'll still try to get some things done. I just don't know if I'll get to my goal of like 1,000 words. Maybe a couple hundred. Bye!